Keeping up with the motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with the remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students. TVM welcomes all the students of class 10 for this English session. A connection is the energy that exists between two people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. When they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. Connection. Have you ever thought, students, about all the connections in everyday life? How are we connected today in the time of lockdown? Through internet. On a social level, we use social media, newsletters, text messages, and blogs to connect with people and organizations that interest us. On a mechanical level, structures we use are connected by thread, nails, brackets, cement, glue, tape. It makes sense then that our language reflects life and has a need for connection. In English, these connections have a name. Conjunctions. Conjunctions are words that link other words, phrases, or clauses together. Now, what is meant by phrase and clause? Let's check. Phrase, a sequence of two or more words that make up a grammatical construction, usually lacking a finite verb. Clause, a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate. Let's check the meaning or synonyms of the word conjunctions to get the clear idea. Combination, union, joining, association, juxtaposition, that is comparison, contrast, and concurrence. Examples of conjunctions, that is through words, phrase, and clause. First example is mask and sanitizer. Example containing phrases over the river and through the woods. Clause, Ram planted a sapling and he watched it grow. Independent and dependent clause. Why do we need to recall the knowledge of independent and dependent clause? Because conjunctions are related to clause. Independent clause. An independent clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. An independent clause is a sentence. Let's check the example. Jim studied in the sweet shop for his chemistry quiz. So here in this example we get a subject, that is Jim, and also a verb, that is studied. And also we come to know that this sentence or group of words, we can say, express a complete thought. It is meaningful. The sentence does make a sense, and that is why it does not depend any other group of words or any other part of group of words to depend upon for the completion of meaning, and that is why it is independent clause. Dependent clause. A dependent clause is a group of words that contains a subject and verb and does not express a complete thought. A dependent clause cannot be a sentence. Example is when Jim studied in the sweet shop for his chemistry quiz. Dot dot dot. Now here what do we come to know? That there is a subject Jim and also there is a verb, that is studied. But then this group of words do not express a complete thought, or we can say not meaningful, and there must be some other group of words for this part of, you can say, group of words to make a sense, and that is why it is dependent clause. Example of a dependent clause. Now, why are we learning conjunctions? Let's check the objectives. To use conjunctions correctly, to use correct punctuations in the sentences containing conjunctions, and to identify clauses and sentences. Types of conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions join words, clauses, or phrases that are equally important. Subordinating conjunctions join an independent clause with a dependent clause. Correlative conjunctions pair of conjunctions join different words, phrases, or clauses together. So let's start with the first type, that is coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are the most popular category of conjunctions. They bring ideas together and give equal importance to the words or sentences connected. You'll notice that in the example sentences, some of the coordinating conjunctions are preceded by a comma, while others are not. There is a very simple reason for this. As we have the examples, we'll come to know about this. If a coordinating conjunction is joining together two independent clauses, it needs to have a comma with it. Independent clauses have the ability to stand alone as complete sentence. Examples: these are the coordinating conjunctions, and we remember it with the acronym or mnemonics, that is fanboys, FANBOYS, total 7. Now here are the examples that we came to know about in the second point of coordinating conjunctions. Somewhere there is comma and some places no comma, so that is all about independent and dependent clauses. Now we have these conjunctions, that is coordinating, for, which means because, and the example, and the meaning is in addition to, nor meaning and not, but, however, or either, yet, but, and so, therefore. So we have these coordinating conjunctions. We remember it with the acronyms FAN boys. The second type is subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions introduce a subordinate clause and joins it to a main clause. subordinate, that is dependent, main clause, independent. An independent clause can stand alone as a sentence. In other words, it does not need any additional information to operate as a sentence. The sentence, "The student passed the test," is an example of an independent clause. It can stand alone as a sentence and does not need any additional information or group of words to be meaningful. Now, this is what we need to remember or keep in mind as we are learning subordinating conjunctions. Relative pronouns sometimes introduce dependent clauses, although they look and act very similar to subordinating conjunctions. They are quite different. Examples: relative pronouns that, who, and which. They differ from subordinating conjunctions because they act as the subject of a dependent clause. Subordinating conjunctions are followed by the subject of their clause. So this is the difference between relative pronouns and subordinating conjunctions, which are followed by the subject of their clause, whereas the relative pronouns, they act as the subject of dependent clause. Example: John is the guy who came over for dinner last week. So this is the example of relative pronoun. Subordinating conjunctions list. It is written in the alphabetical order. Subordinating conjunctions is and the third type is correlative conjunctions. As suggested by the name, correlative conjunctions correlate, working in pairs to join phrases or words that carry equal importance within a sentence. When using correlative conjunctions, ensure verbs as well as pronouns agree. Sometimes could be noun. So your sentences make sense. Let's check the examples. Every night, either loud music or fighting neighbors wake John from his sleep. So here it is about nouns that agree with the correlative conjunction, that is either or. Second example, neither Deborah nor Sally expressed her annoyance when the cat broke the antique lamp. It is about the verbs. Now, correlative conjunctions list. As we already know that according to the name correlative, they are in pair, correlative conjunctions. So, have we learned everything about conjunctions? I guess we haven't. Let's check. The most beautiful thing in the world is precisely the conjunction of learning and inspiration. Oh, the passion for research and the joy of discovery. So, this is something we have learned through conjunctions. That is how important connections are. And the most beautiful of all is of learning and inspiration. Thank you, dear students. Take care.